first-round pick to Miami. Butler declined a player option. He signed a 2-year, $121 million extension. So he is headed to Golden State. Now, we all know that we call him Playoff Jimmy. Here's why. Since 2020, Jimmy Butler is tied with Luka Doncic, who, of course, was also traded recently, and Devin Booker.
Warriors are legitimately calling about every all-star player.
Tried LeBron. They've tried Paul George. They tried Lauri Markkanen. Now they're trying Jimmy Butler. Now they're trying Kevin Durant. You made this, I think,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Shooting for the Stars podcast, you guys, with y'all's one and only host, Cameron Williams. And it's yes, man, this NBA trade stuff, you guys, is getting absolutely surreal. I mean, man, they making y'all boy having to work for real. I mean, God. Oh, Jimmy Butler has officially just been traded. I called it, you guys, in the last video when I was bringing y'all that video of where we can see Jimmy Butler at. I said the Houston Rockets, well, he's not going to be going to Houston. He's going to be teaming up with one of the godfathers of basketball and Stephen Curry up there in Golden State. He signed a 2-year, $121 million extension last night to go ahead and become a member of the Dubs, and Golden State needs him badly. The Golden State Warriors are currently 25-25 right now, you guys. They're 11th in the West, and right now what the Warriors are doing right now, you guys, they are pushing, and I mean anchoring. They are trying to anchor to compete and give Steph Curry one more chance to compete in his twilight golden years before he gets ready to set for retirement. I mean, that's what all three of those teams, organizations, are trying to set these guys up for. That's what the Lakers are trying to set LeBron up for before he retires. Probably his last year. They trying to see him go out with one last dance. Same for Kevin Durant, who I'm going to be getting into a little bit in this video, and for Steph Curry, because they know those three guys don't have a lot of time left, man. And each franchise, they're trying to give each guy a chance to go out there and still have a chance to compete. But before I get into the video, you guys already know, make sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button if y'all want to stay tuned for more further information as the NFL is getting ready, the season's getting ready to end after the Super Bowl this week, you guys, which means we're going to be fully shifted into the NBA. I'm talking about daily recaps, trades, news, everything going on, predictions, teams, playoff finalists, NBA finals predictions. We're going to be getting to all of it, you guys, in the NBA right after the NFL season is over, and covering other sports as well. We're going to be venturing off into new things, and I want y'all to come with me on this amazing journey as we are also on the road to 1,000 subscribers too. But enough talking. Y'all guys already know the good stuff. Let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Let's go!
One eternity later.
So as we all know, after a two-month worth of saga back and forth between the Heat organization and Jimmy Butler and I want out, I'm not playing after being suspended for dang near 10 games this season for not even doing nothing. I mean, seriously, you just letting yourself be heard that you want out at the current situation that you're in. That's all Jimmy Butler was doing. I mean, and the Heat. So I'm gonna get into the conversation. The Heat get Andrew Wiggins. The Heat get Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker, and one protected first-round pick. The Jazz get Dennis Schroeder, and the Raptors will be getting Kyle Anderson, and Josh Richardson will be going over to the Pistons. So coming like a four-way trade, but they're still in finalization right now. The Heat are still finalizing this deal currently as we're speaking. Should be getting ready to happen at the time this video is dropped. But yeah, that's what we have going on right now. And Jimmy Butler will be going over to the Bay Area to play with Golden State. And here's the thing, you guys. When I tell you guys, the Golden State Warriors have been so... I mean, it's honestly getting kind of outright disgusting. How sick and how desperate they've been all year long to try to get a superstar. Matter of fact, tell you guys what about the Golden State Warriors this year. I mean, to be honest, they settled for Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler wasn't their first choice. The Golden State Warriors, if you name a superstar, they've probably called that team's general manager and tried to get them alongside. Yes, they've tried to include names like LeBron James. They've tried to get Kevin Durant. We all heard Kevin, all this speculation going on, and there's still speculation going on. As we all know, the trade deadline ends today at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and so anything can still happen within those lines. It's still early right now here on this Thursday morning, okay? Tell you that now, okay? But they've been trying to get Kevin Durant. They've been seeing if they can get, they made calls about, see what's up with De'Aaron Fox. They've been trying to do whatever they could. Anthony Davis themselves. They have Joel Embiid, Paul George. They've called for Kawhi Leonard. I mean, they have been star hunting, hunting. And Crazy part is with Golden State, you guys, they have a pretty, the roster as it was, I like Andrew Wiggins, but a little bit of an inconsistent guy. He was a guy that couldn't have won that 2022 championship if it was not for Andrew Wiggins. Make no mistake about that. So I do have respect. I give him respect where respect is due. Make no mistake about that. JK, Jonathan Kuminga, I like him too. A really good piece, a really good, but sometimes, a guy who we've been looking at now, as especially Dub fans, y'all been looking at to come in and quickly assert himself as a 20-point per game scorer, which they are lacking right now, alongside Steph Curry. And he's, in more nights he's been going off for 12 or less points. Not really living up to the billing each and every night. And that's what we expect with role players, you guys. Role players, that's why they're role players. Because, some nights, they can look like superstars. The other nights, they're going to not really looking good. They're not really gonna hear their name. They're just coasting, but they're playing in their role. They're not really having a big time impact, but they're serviceable. That's what a role player is. The guys who you're looking for to be consistent night in, night out, and produce those high level numbers. Those are gonna be your superstars. Those are what the Warriors are missing, especially when Steph Curry's getting older. Man, they played the Utah Jazz last night. They lost 131 to 128. Steph Curry dropped 32 points, still resulted in a losing effort. The Golden State Warriors are also 5-5 in their last 10 games. That has to change. Again, I say, you guys, they're 11th in the Western Conference, and if there's a good thing is they're tied for 10th spot with the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant and those boys up there. And if I'm Golden State, they have to get serious, man. Something has to happen. I mean, they have to start hitting the ground running right now. And a lot of people are gonna be talking about the fit and this forth and so on. I mean, the fit and how Jimmy Butler's gonna fit with Steph Curry and Steve Kerr's playbook. Y'all, let me tell y'all guys something. One word: clutch. Clutch. Yes, meaning in the clutch. That's how I expect Jimmy Butler to serve his impact. Now, him and Steph Curry on the floor together, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be kind of. I do myself is interested to see how that's gonna fathom and how that's gonna work out together on the court when it does come. They are set to play the Los Angeles Lakers tonight, the Golden State Warriors. But I do want to see how that fit is gonna work. Since Jimmy Butler, his game. Jimmy Butler's not really a scorer. And not a score, but not like a 3-point scorer. He's not, the Warriors, they run a lot of sets with guys coming off moving threes, shooting moving threes, coming off screens, shooting threes, a lot of moving with Steph Curry. And I believe, Jimmy Butler can be a guy when playing on the floor with Steph Curry, he can kind of complement his gameplay off ball, because keep in mind, Jimmy Butler this year, a lot of people don't know, out of all his seasons in the league, this is the year where he's had the most touches. He's had the least amount of touches this season, which means he can play off the ball. He's fine with doing the dirty work. I mean, that's why we love Jimmy Butler. That's why we say, in order to be a championship team, you have to have a guy like Jimmy Butler in place, because he's a guy, yes, even though he's not going to be, even though, yes, he can give you 25, 30 points, 40, he can go off with the best stuff, make no mistake about it, in his own way. But a guy, a thing that needs to, what I love more about his game that brings more value, especially what we've lost in today's generation and today's basketball, is his defense, his hustle, his drive, his commitment, his motor, his ambition. I mean, that's what I love about him, the way he dives on loose balls. I mean, in the clutch, the Golden State Warriors this year, they've been really middle of the pack this season in clutch games. They played more close games than any team, close possession games more than any team in the league this year. Now, guys, know one thing: the Golden State Warriors, they are 16-14 in those clutch games and close games, you guys. So not losing them, but not, it's not the majority. The differential is not a margin. It's not what we're accustomed to seeing with a Steph Curry team. So you bring in another closer, a guy like Jimmy Butler, who we all know, playoff Jimmy, because this is not a move for Golden. This Jimmy Butler move is not for the regular season. He's not a regular season guy. Jimmy Butler shows up the most. Where he makes his money at is in the postseason. You hear about him in the postseason. Think about it. Go back to 2022. He didn't compete last year in the postseason because of his injury when that playing that he had. He was on the sideline majority of the year, so he didn't play until his last postseason appearance till 2023. And y'all, go back to their 2020-2022 run when they played against the Denver Nuggets, when they ran up against Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic in 2022. Keep in mind that no team beat the Denver Nuggets that year in the Western Conference Finals, except for the Phoenix Suns one time. Every other team was swept, where the Heat were at least able to scratch out one win, and that one win they scratched out really throughout the whole series. Nikola Jokic was just playing on another planet, but Jimmy Butler was really able to get underneath the skin and was able to aggravate and be a pest on Jamal Murray's side that game. That's the kind of stuff he's going to bring, and shifting back over for the West to the Western Conference now after being in the East, that's going to be tough, Jimmy. Make no mistake about that. I was a fan. I was a huge advocate of you guys. I wanted Jimmy Butler to stay in the Eastern Conference Finals. I said that. I said there's no way he should be going over to the West when you have it made for you in the East. I mean, heck, you've been to the Finals 2 out of the last 4 years in 2020 and 2022. You know, you just weren't able to win the game. You know, you're going over there to the West, man, playing with Curry, playing with those guys, man, and he's still having to compete. I mean, and also Draymond Green, too. This still doesn't help the scenario. Again, I really want to see how that's going to work because, you know, Draymond Green's also, along with Steph Curry, is the distributor. He gets everybody to make sure everybody's where they need to be. He's a point forward, not only just an anchor, a guy who takes charges and all that kind of stuff. You know, he brings a lot of good stability that the Warriors need. Make no mistake about that, you guys. And for Jimmy Butler, you know, I want to see how that's going to play out, too. How are him and Draymond Green going to look on the same team? I'm interested to see how that's going to look out. I know they're both dogs. I do know that. But Jimmy Butler's going to be primarily responsible in the Western Conference Finals to take on opposing teams' best wing. So that means, yes, they play against the Lakers. He's going to be expected to take on the challenge of holding LeBron James throughout all 48 minutes. You're playing against a team like, you know, let's say the Clippers or the Suns. You're expected to take on that challenge of holding Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant. Y'all guys are seeing what I'm saying? You're playing against the OKC Thunder. Guess what? You're taking the responsibility of being able to hold who else? Of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Even though he's a point guard, he's a long, big guard, okay? You're sure not going to put Steph Curry on him. So Jimmy Butler's going to have to take that challenge, not just the best wings, but really the best players, okay? That's the challenge you're going to have to take on. And even though he's 35 years old, Jimmy Butler's still, again, a top 15 player in this league, a guy you need to have if you want to win a championship, seriously. Because with teams that win championships, you look at the roster, you evaluate, so, okay, well, they have a dog. He's a dog. They have multiple dogs. Oh, they have Jimmy Butler. He's a dog. Oh, yeah. I see why they won. They have the grit. They have, you know, guys that get down. You need guys like that. And Jimmy Butler is rightfully so one of those guys as well. Make no mistake about that as well. And then honestly, you guys, another thing too, what I like so much about this trade, and I'm going to be getting to the Heat side things real quick. Steph Curry, after you go to see that game last night against the Jazz, Steph Curry looked absolutely dejected. I mean, Steph looked absolutely dejected, you guys. I mean, and just actually hurt and just unable to carry his team against the Jazz, which is something we'll never thought we'll say about Stephen Curry. But that lets you know you guys are getting old, 37 years old. You guys, you know, you don't have a lot. You need some assistance. You guys. I mean, almost kind of like with the Lakers, what I'm going to be getting into. They traded away Dalton Connect for Mark Whelan. This is about to win now. This is a chance to win now, you guys. It's about winning now. Steph Curry gave the organization 4 years. 4 championship trophies, 4 Larry O'Briens. The least y'all guys can do is at least help him now as he's getting older, as he's not able to put y'all on his back like he used to. Help him, put the ingredients around him, put the team around him, construct this team around him to give him the best opportunity, even though you still might come up short, because I still don't think this is good enough. I like the Jimmy Butler move, but I do give it a B, because I just don't think it's good enough, but at least I do expect the Warriors to at least make the playoffs now that you have a guy like Jimmy Butler. How far they will go remains to be determined, but if I'm giving you guys a prediction, I say not really that far. They're going to be disappointed, because I think it's going to be more of a fitting thing than anything, seriously. I think it's going to be more of a fitting thing. Because Jimmy Butler is a guy, like I said, he's great without the ball in his hands. When we talk about defensively deflecting passes, but again, if you want to get the best of him does come with having the ball in his hands. And we all know Steph Curry, he needs the ball in his hands. A magician. Make no mistake about that. But as far as for the Miami Heat, again, the culture is the culture. The culture doesn't change regardless of who they get. Now the team goes back. Now the team is going to be centered around Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero being the second guy now over there in Miami, being the 1B option alongside Bam Adebayo. I like Dennis Schroeder. Not Dennis Schroeder. I like Kyle Anderson. I like Andrew Wiggins. I believe Andrew Wiggins is going to be a nice fit somewhere low key. He's not going to be expected to do a lot and fill a huge void like how he was in Golden State, because in Golden State, man, they were asking guys to step up and be guys who they were not. They were asking Andrew Wiggins to be Kevin Durant. He's not that. Here in Miami, Eric Spoelstra is going to ask you to do their job. In Miami, they're 6th seed right now in the Eastern Conference Finals as we speak. They're currently sitting at 25 and 24. sitting right above 500. So Miami, pretty good year for them. Miami's going to be good regardless. They're going to put out a competitive team regardless. That's just how great their coaching staff is and how great their organization is from top to bottom, from ownership group to GM to the head coach, and they're able to work with anything. Make no mistake about that. So I definitely expect them to compete, and they're going to be young and they're going to be feisty. And of course, still having Kevin Love, you guys, and it was real fun too with Kevin Love seeing their game against the Philadelphia 76ers, having a fan tell them. Y'all got to see how engaged he was when he had this fan tell him about the Jimmy Butler trade, you guys. He was he turned back like, oh man, let's listen to it.
Kyle Anderson, Dennis Schroeder, and Andrew Wiggins.
Okay.
We robbed them. First round pick, protected.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it right now and bring it tomorrow.
No.
All good times, man. All good stuff. And one last thing, you guys. Another thing, too. Do y'all, just let y'all know, just to sprinkle, a little bit more powdered sugar on those beignets. Y'all know how desperate the Golden State Warriors were? They were willing to literally go back and reunite and redo their marriage, you guys. Get remarried to Kevin Durant after what happened 2018, 2019 with the Golden State Warriors, with him and Draymond Green. When Draymond Green told, we don't need you, punk. Punk, we don't need you, punk. And everybody thought he was getting ready to swing off on Kevin, was getting ready to steal off on Kevin Durant. I mean, and honestly, when I heard that, I'm like, dang, you that desperate Golden State. I mean, and even Kevin Durant, we know how much of a snake he is. We know he's a ring chaser. He'll do whatever he can for a ring. I mean, now he's trying to get out the valley now. And this is I could be bringing y'all another video, guys, as soon as in 30 minutes, because if Kevin Durant is moved, which we're hearing speculations around him being moved from Phoenix to Golden State for Jimmy Butler, after Jimmy Butler just to be moved back, or another scenario where it brings Kevin Durant over back to the Golden State Warriors and they still keep Jimmy Butler, but they give up Draymond Green. I mean, it's a whole lot of stuff, you guys. And if y'all don't believe me, listen to Sean's. Listen to how desperate Golden State is, almost like somebody walking the corner.
The Warriors are legitimately calling about every all-star player. Name the all-star player the Warriors have probably called on him. Paul George, they have called on him. They made calls on every star. And that, of course, includes players like LeBron, players like Kevin Durant.
Well, I pray y'all never have to get that desperate, man. I mean, that's desperate. I mean, seriously. I mean, god dang, Golden State. Has it got like that? Man, that's going to be... This is some crazy stuff. This is the craziest trade deadline in history, but also the most intriguing and the most hyped up, because they're really back again. I said they're making your boy really work, you guys. I mean, this has been a really good trade deadline. I mean, this trade deadline will be down in history. Make no mistake about that. We're not gonna forget this, okay? I promise you guys that with all this stuff going on, Luka, Anthony Davis, Jimmy Butler, now speculations of Kevin Durant, Chris Middleton. I mean, oh my goodness, it's been trade after trades. I mean, who's next? But y'all guys, let me know what y'all rate of this trade for the Golden State Warriors. Does this elevate their chances of winning a title at the end of the year with the Jimmy Butler move? Let me know y'all thoughts on it down below in the comment section down below. And what grade do y'all give Golden State for the Jimmy Butler trade? Did they give up too much? Did they give up too little? Did they give up just enough? Or was it an absolute complete steal? But y'all guys, let me know in the comment section down below what y'all think. Will y'all rate Golden State? How will their season turn out and unfold? Do y'all see them representing the Western Conference in the NBA Finals? Or do y'all see them coming up short again in some round in the playoffs? Or do y'all even see them even making the playoffs? I want to go through all that with y'all back and forth in the comment section. Y'all guys let me know. Y'all make sure also to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button if y'all enjoyed today's video. And also, again, you guys, hit that share button. Also, turn on post notifications. Y'all want to see more uploads just like this here on Shooting for the Stars podcast. And again, I will see y'all on the next episode on Shooting for the Stars podcast, you guys, with y'all's one and only host. Yes. Cameron Williams.